Hey, what's good, what's good, what's good? It's your boy Savage, aka Sev Cisneros. You tuning in to Sevlokes Hood Tales Revamp 2.0. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Let's get to the politic. Before I get started with this video, I just want to make it clear, I am in no means promoting the gang life, gang banging, or the prison life to anybody. I'm just putting a testimony out there to maybe open the youngsters' eyes for they don't go down them roads, learn from my mistakes. So you know what it is, Mile High Salute. So let's get to this video. And in this video, it's a two-part video. It comes out the comment section. 2 people requested videos. And thank you guys for the interactions. First video is the homie, I think his name is Lizard Teeth. I think that's what your name is. Mile High Salute to you, man, for interacting. And you asked, have I ever heard about the legendary Marvin Grey? Marvin Grey, he's legendary because what his name holds, the reputation that his name holds. And when I first found, when all the youngsters fall, they hear about certain individuals, and they hear about a category of fools, category of men that pretty much have these names of being predators and killers. And you got the bona fide killers, and then you have the bona fide serial rapists, booty bandits. And Marvin Grey falls under both of the categories. He was a serial killer before he went in the penitentiary, and when he got his life sentences, he continued to be a serial killer. And he also was a serial booty bandit. Marvin Grey, he was a very strong dude, power lifter, and very strong. They said that when they tried, when they handcuffed him, they had to use pretty much shackles, not regular handcuffs. He was too big for that. And there's been incidences that I heard from different individuals that he had problems with. He actually broke the handcuffs. That's how strong this dude was. I have a homie, my homie doing 84 to life, and this fool's a bona fide killer, and he got into it with Marvin Grey. And he said that when they were into it, this dude tried to come through the door, and actually was strong enough to start having the hinges come off the doors, and them doors in DOC are pretty strong. Marvin Grey, he had that reputation of being a killer, but down the road, it switched into being a straight predator. And he started being a serial rapist. Like, he would actually find people that he thought was acting tough, and he actually would start working out with these dudes. And when they got big and they would pump out their chest and try to act tough on the yard, there was many situations where he would knock them out, and then they would wake up to that dude actually raping them, and he's actually he started a domino effect, because he raped a couple individuals, and they became actually serial rapists off of that. And it's crazy, bro, because he really honestly raped the tough dudes that actually, thought they were tougher than life on the yards. And that's why I say, like, I don't mean to bring this youngster's, name up, but Nahawk, bro, that's the type of individual. He would see you trying to be a gangbanger, and he would see you trying to be a Crip and chill with the black fools, bro, and you would get targeted in from dudes like Marvin Grey, because, he actually was Italian and white, and he didn't play with that, trying to be anything that you're not, and you would be the first target, bro. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you're not, he didn't care if you were big or not. He had one-hitter quitters, and when you wake up, that fool would be raping you. That's why you have to think, homie. And it was crazy, because when I first found, bro, the first facilities I kind of went to, I actually was on a compound that he was on. He was on the west side of the facility. I was on the east side of the facility, and Marvin Grey was on that compound. Everybody knows when one of them kind of dudes are on the compound. later down the road, he went to CSP and he actually passed away from diabetes. You know, he endured a slow death, but that was karma from everything that he did. So big shout out to you, man. Yeah, I know who Marvin Grey is. The next question comes from the homie Robert, and he asked about the biggest gangs in Denver. What's the biggest gang in Denver? I went over this in other videos on the other Sevlo Hood Tales channel. So to break it down, bro, you have to know, you know, every aspect of like the neighborhoods. Every neighborhood got a big gang, a powerhouse. You know, you have the east side, the west side, the north side, south side. And when I say that, it's just sides of the Denver metro. And then you have Monballo, and that's far east. That's just the Denver metro, but that's not really the Denver city. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Lakewood. That's not really the Denver city. But when it comes to the powerhouses of, you know, all the neighborhoods out here on the east side, you're going to have the powerhouse of the Crips, one of the most predominant gangs over there. They got the most numbers. The Odies, they're a big Mexican gang, but I think honestly they're not as big as the Crips over there. And then, you know, when you go to the west side, you're going to have the Bloods and the GKIs. West side Bloods are probably have the most numbers in the west side. When you go to the north side, you're going to have, you know, predominantly the north side Mafia. And that's the biggest north side gang in Denver. And when you go to the south, I think the biggest gang in the south, honestly, and well known, is Westwood Hoods. But I'm hearing there's Sureños, and there's Florencias and all that. But, you know, I never really seen the presence. So maybe I'm just, you know, not looking hard enough. And I don't be in that, you know, that lifestyle like that. But when it comes to an organization all around the Denver metro, from Aurora all the way to the Denver metro to far west, I would have to say as a whole, because there's so many sets of this, is probably the Bloods. There's a lot of sets out here, but the biggest gang, in my opinion, and the number wise in one gang, is probably the Trays. And, you know, the Trays from the east side, the Crips, you know what I'm saying, as one whole, like the big deep Crip hood, and they're probably, as one set, they're probably the deepest. But as, you know, multiple sets, multiple Blood sets, I would have to say the Bloods, honestly. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what it is. So when you leave the Denver metro and you go to smaller cities like Colorado Springs, Greeley, Pueblo, I would have to say the Sureños as a whole are probably the deepest in the Colorado aspect as a whole when they come together. But the Denver metro, the deepest gang is probably a set, and it's like the Trays and the 30s. They belong together. They're as one. But as a whole, the Bloods, when they all come together as one big organization, they're probably the deepest. But then again, there's Blood hoods that you just don't consider them official. You know what I'm saying? So I hope I answered a couple, you know, questions in that aspect. But thank you guys for the interaction. I'm going to get this money at the gym. Let's go.